These three sad little guys came from eBay. They are F-7s made by Williams, probably in the 1980s. They all need a complete restoration. The shells were the easy part. A little bit of paint and some fresh decals, and they're looking as good as new. Then came one of the motorized frames. That wasn't too hard of a fix either. The dummy unit had some broken pieces and a few missing parts. I was able to piece that back together. And now I want to take that dummy unit and update it with some LED lighting like I did for this Lionel F3. When I began working on the Williams F7 dummy base, I thought it would be a project that was fairly similar to the Lionel F3 conversion. Take out the incandescent bulb and replace it with a little bracket that would hold 3 LEDs, a clear one for the headlight and 2 amber ones for the side marker lights. Then I started thinking about all of the room available inside this shell, and the room especially inside the cab of the F7. So what began as a simple lighting conversion turned into a full-on interior conversion as well. So with a little bit of sheet plastic and some parts that were left over from several unbuilt model kits, I was able to piece together what I thought maybe the interior of an F7 cab might look like. It's not going to be strictly accurate, but it's good enough. The LED lighting is why I started this project, and the interior was a little bit of a detour that sidetracked me for a few days, but now that it's finished, it's time to finally get this dummy unit into the 21st century with the addition of 4 LEDs. Yes, that's right, I said 4. The headlight, 2 marker lights, and that little hole in the rear bulkhead will have a 4th clear LED. These LEDs are pretty cheap on eBay nowadays, so I just strip a little bit of the insulation away from the wires. I give them a twist together, and I'm going to solder them. A little bit of flux will help that solder flow into the tiny little copper strands and make all of these separate wires into one unit. For a group of small wires like this, I would much rather solder them than trust that connection to a wire nut. Once they're soldered, I can cover the exposed part with a little bit of heat shrink tubing and then heat it up with my soldering gun before squeezing it with my fingers to seal up that open end. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, just imagine how much 24 frames per second can tell you. With that in mind, I'm just going to let you watch this part and rejoin you in just a little bit. When it comes to my trains, I think I fall into the category of the kind of person who just likes to sit back and look at them. I could run them, but I get more satisfaction out of fixing them up. I like to edit the videos, and most of the time they'll end up either on a shelf or in a display cabinet. So it's because of that reason that I decided to give this dummy unit its own power source. This little 9-volt transistor battery pack will power the LEDs, and it comes with its own on-off switch. At some point, I'll probably cut a hole in that tank between the trucks underneath the frame and install an exterior on-off switch on the bottom. But until then, I will just leave the shell not screwed together to the frame, and that way I can pop the shell off, turn the lights on or off, and then put the shell back on. Now that it's finished, I think I like the dry brushing on the interior of this cab unit. It helps the details to stand out just a little bit better. And to see them in these photographs, I left out the cab glass. So I'll put that in eventually, but for now it's gone, and it lets you see the seats, that door through the bulkhead, and some of the other details that I added. I might just leave the glass out altogether, I'm not sure. But it looks pretty good here, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. I appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Bob's Workshop. Take care.